Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's gonna be a quick one, I think, because I'm kind of late as usual. But I think my roommate's sleeping, so I'm just gonna be a little quiet. Um, Today we'll be talking about something I've touched in my third video, I believe. But this one, um, it's more specified on a casual relationship, I guess, a day-to-day activity, things that you would do normally, other than being like a different person around people constantly. It's more so about accepting yourself. So this video is going to be more about accepting yourself as a person, and finding your individualism, being being yourself, really. And I'm not just talking like around other people, more so uh, accepting yourself for who you are, and what you do, and the things you like to do, and activities such and such. So what really is being yourself? Like, what does that mean? Well, what I mean by that is like you like this, like the things you like to do is what you like to do. You're not following a trend. You're not doing the things you do because other people do them. No, it's more so the fact that you like doing these things. You find actual genuine pleasure out of doing these things, and you continue to do them. And again, like I say before all the time, um, I'm glad if you're doing the things you like to do. I'm glad you're doing it. But if they're self-destructive or harmful to other people, you have to think of it at a moral way. Are you making fun of somebody, or are you hurting yourself by doing the things you do? Maybe again, like you're taking very extreme drugs, or maybe you're making fun of people a lot and hurting people without even knowing it. You have to look back at what you're doing to make sure you're not affecting others as much, or yourself, as what you want to as you want to do. Let me rephrase that. You gotta take a step back and make sure. Sorry about the peak. You gotta make sure what you're doing is what you want it to do. Like, you have to make sure the after effects are exactly what you want to do. So, yeah, of course, make sure that the things you're doing is what you want. However, continue what you like doing. You should, if you like watching movies, watch those movies. If you like watching anime, or listening to a certain type of music, don't let anybody stop you. Um, you just gotta do the things you like doing. And if people say you know, if people say it's lame, or it's not cool, or whatsoever, you just gotta keep going. You just gotta keep doing it, because that's part of your identity, really, and you can't deny your identity if it's really who you are. It's I feel like in most of the ways, the things and activities you do are very similar to who you are as a person, because say you help people out in the street, or say you're very anti-war and you start protesting a lot. The activities that you participate in are going to reflect those ideals, or uh, those objectives in your head. So it really much is a reflection of identity, the things you do and say. Um, anyway, big thing. Again, back to the first question, I guess. What is being yourself? And it's really doing what you want to do, saying what you want to say to a degree. But I guess if really saying what you want to say and doing what you want to do, if it's harmful to people, like, you shouldn't do that. You should really take a step back. But at the end of the day, it's your life. You're gonna reap the repercussions of the people around you after they get sick of your shenanigans. So you can live very toxically, very destructively, but at the end of the day, you're gonna find out that the people around you don't actually like that, or maybe they just don't consider you as high of a as good of a person as you think you are. Um, Anyway, continuing. be yourself, do the things you want to do, um, and with the things you do, um, interests and inspirations will build upon that. As I've always said, motivate yourself, become inspired, and it's going to be hard. It's luck, you don't just do that yourself, but um, doing the things you want to do will inspire you to do bigger and better things. You watch anime, you watch anime, great. You start like I don't know cosplaying, I guess, or maybe you like make your own game or fan art or something, and then maybe one day, maybe one day you just plan a trip randomly to Japan, and you're like, man, that's great. I love this. That's goofy. But yeah, you do big things in real life just by building on the things that you like doing, and you have to be consistent with the things you do. It's always good to like spread your wings and see new things. Like I've always said, try new things out. But if you really like something, continue doing it and build upon it. Go even deeper. Become the niche. Become part of the niche group of that. Whatever you're doing, the subject, whatever you're doing, and get to the heart of it. Really become know the definition of it. Become like the master of it and teach other people about it, because then maybe teaching other people about it is what inspires you to do other things, do bigger things. Maybe even have a business with what you really like doing. People make YouTube videos all the time and make money off of it, and that's just filmmaking and gaming. So at the end of the day, you could do the same thing. Something I want to touch on is being yourself. Like, what if my being myself interferes with like my social life in real life? And of course it's definitely gonna happen. I mean, I feel you like anime, and somebody you're talking to doesn't care for it. It's going to leak out. Like if you constantly talk to this person, it's going to leak out one of the days that you like anime, you watch it, or maybe you reference it or something. It's going to leak one a day or not, so sooner or later. So of course, being yourself and like liking the things you like are going to affect your social life in some way. However, what I have to say that is really just don't learn how to work around people. Like I've said in my third video, where you use different faces to masks to like be with certain people. I would say that's very unhealthy and self-destructive, because you don't really know who you are at that point. What I would say is don't work around other people, work around yourself, which means continue to like the things you like, but learn and understand how, instead of like, I have to be this way to be cool with people, more so like, okay, this person doesn't really like the things I like, but, or doesn't like the certain things I like, but we do share some similarities. I'm going to build upon those similarities to become closer with this person. So, you're not necessarily lying to yourself, but you're more so talking about the similarities between you and this person, other than being like, oh yeah, I hate anime. You're like, you don't really bring it up, and if they bring it up and they say, hey, do you like this, I would just tell them the truth. And if they don't respect that, clearly they aren't a good influence to be around. you know, like I said before, I mean, if they're like constantly berating you about the things you like, clearly they aren't a good influence on your mindset, and you should probably either stop talking to them altogether, or possibly, lower time with them, because clearly they're just not very respectful in person or in general. So, but yeah, and being yourself is a key part of individuality and identity. So, um, you're gonna need that. You need to get respect if you want to give respect, and vice versa. So, what else? Self-identity is, I would say, very much like something that you mirror off people. So, you hang out with people. Maybe you hang out with somebody for the first time or a couple times, and you finally realize, wow, I just don't like this person. Or maybe you're like, oh wow, I really like this person. don't become that person. You're like, yeah, you will mirror similar attributes or, things or sayings that other people say, but don't become that person. Become your own person, maybe with similar traits. Say that guy's funny, and you're like, I like the way I like his sense of humor. You can, I guess, you could quote unquote copy his humor, I guess, but at the end of the day, you just like that humor. You've adopted that, um, and make that into something that furthers your growth as an individual. Um, you know, Interacting with people is key to mirror to becoming who you are. Like I said before, talking to people, even if you don't like them, mirrors your identity. If you don't like them and you're like, wow, this is something I really don't like in a person, then you can tell yourself not to be that. Like, define trait that you don't want to be, or be like to other people. So, being around people you don't like, kind of uncomfortable for you, but in your mind, it's teaching you a lesson to not be a certain way, which is very productive. Um, and yeah, that's really all I have to say. It's 11 minutes. Um, Quick summary, I guess. Just something I've been thinking about. Yeah, I hope this helped in some way. All right, have a good night.